Can someone from the virtual audience please confirm if you are able to hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you actually.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
All right, thank you so much. Can we again start with the round of applause? Sincere apologies for this last minute message. Our transition team has been working really hard on this. Before moving ahead, let's take 30 seconds to pray for world peace. I would request everyone to close their eyes. Thank you very much. Last night I was interested into studies of color. I got into a Google search random hit which told me that each color has different kind of importance, and special importance is given to the color white. The color white is known for its purity, sincerity, and peacefulness. And I could recall a very similar story which I heard in a satsang, which had stories around color white. The story goes like this, that if you have seen that many religious figures have a white colored circle behind their head. The white colored circle which the white colored circle which they have behind their head denotes the purity of their thoughts. We all through our days have different kind of thoughts. We meet different kind of people, we interact with them, we have different kind of conversations, some lovely, some not so lovely. And eventually, we carry those terms of colors on our white aura or the white circle which we have. It's in simple words, it's like you leave your house in the morning in a white colored clothes. While meeting everyone, you see their energy, you take a bit of their energy, and that color of energy gets onto your white clothes. That color may be white, that may be blue, red, pink, or anything. But at the end of the day, when you come back home, your outfit isn't white anymore. We need to rest out. Sometimes we need to do self-care to understand that we always need to have a white clothes in the morning. We need not to accept that, okay, this is my color. Have you ever seen someone around you who always says, I'm like this only, I won't change. I'm always in worry, I don't know why. Maybe this is my nature now. Maybe they have carried different colors and they think that color is their own now. This similar philosophy is very useful in Toastmasters as well. Every time when I come to this meeting, there is one thing which I unlearn and there is another thing which I learn again. When I first came to the club, I sometimes thought that giving a very dramatic speech is very healthy and people will always love it. But eventually when I added too many dramatics into my speech, people started saying, okay, you do too much acting and there is less of a speech. And that's when I had to unlearn that and learn more usefulness. So on that note, I would like to proceed towards this briefing. I would request the guests here to please introduce themselves by telling who they are, how did you come to know about Toastmasters, and what do you do professionally?
Hello everyone, I'm Untitled and I am an engineer by profession, and I was working in MTL, and I came to know about Toastmasters through one of my friends who is in Chandigarh, and now he has shifted in Gurgaon. So he is associated with Toastmasters for last 2016. So last 6 years he has been associated with Toastmasters, and I have attended 2 of the online sessions of the Chandigarh Toastmasters. So that was my experience, and I wanted to join in because my office is in Yes, sir. Okay. So I was, curious to join this. So last week I called up and I came to know that this is, it is opening for this, this weekend. So I came here.
Thank you so much. We are so glad that you have office near our club location, and I hope you have a great time today. May I request someone from the virtual stage to please acknowledge if there are guests present? I see guest Umar Awan. May I request you to please unmute yourself and introduce?
Hi everyone, it's great to be in a hybrid meeting after some time, and I'm Toastmaster Umar Farkawan from district Chakwal in Pakistan, but living in Saudi Arabia for past 9 years, working as a senior internal auditor by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. Currently an Area 31 director in District 79, Saudi Arabia, and it's a pleasure to be part of this meeting. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Umar, for joining. May I now request guest Bubbly to please introduce herself? Yes, Bubbly. We are not able to hear you. Can you please unmute?
You are
yourself?
on mute.
Hello.
Yes, we are able to hear you now.
Hello everyone. Good evening. So myself, Varinder Kaur. I'm the resident of Narayana Vihar. Actually, I really wish to join. I just was seeking to know all about Toastmasters. Earlier, I'm a homemaker. So my daughter, she is like 25 years old, and she let me know about all these activities and the kind of topics you discuss in this Toastmasters. So I was seeking to know and to learn about this Toastmasters. So I think it will be a great platform to learn, and because I am not a working woman, so being a homemaker, I feel that I'm somewhere lacking behind. So in order to get myself more acknowledged and more to know much about the language also, and because I'm lacking vocab also, so I just wish to learn and know about this thing. So thank you so much. If I get the chance, I definitely will learn and improve myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Varinder, for joining. May I now request guest Mudit to please introduce himself?
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is Mudit. I am a chartered accountant. Currently, I'm working in Volvo Eicher in corporate finance profile. So I wish to join Toastmaster to improve my public speaking skills, to think better and understand different viewpoints, interact with different people, and increase my vocabulary. I wish to join. I will try to join physically as well from the next class as well. So it is nice meeting you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Mudit. For the rest of the guests, I request you to please put your introduction in the chat box and we will take it from there. Now let's move forward and welcome two new members of the club who have recently joined us. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ritu and Toastmaster Unika. Moving ahead, now it's time to welcome on stage someone who will take this meeting forward. The theme which we have chosen for this meeting is very interesting and I sometimes think about it. Keeping no suspense, let me call the Toastmaster of the day, who is Toastmaster Bhavan Jha, with his theme, Let's Discover Our Phobias. Let's discover our phobias with Toastmaster Bhavan Jha.
Thank you, President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Imagine tomorrow you have to meet with Prime Minister of India. Now, what will happen? What would be your mental state and how many times you will watch your watch? So, what will happen? Why there would be a fear? Definitely many thoughts will come in mind that if I will do any mistake, then whole world will know. Is it not? Let me say another example. Suppose tomorrow you have a job interview. Would you not be scared? Why you would be scared? Because you will think, if I would not be selected, then what will happen? What would be to my family? Is it not? Yes. Let me say third example. Suppose tomorrow you have to give a speech in front of thousands of people. Then what would be your mental state? Would you feel relaxed? So why you would be worried? Why? You will have different kind of fearful thoughts. So you should know what is a fear. You should know what is a fear. So can you tell me, fear is bad or fear is good? Anyone? Wonderful. So fear is a natural emotion that protects you from any harm. Okay. So if it is required that amount which can trigger you to take a next step instead of thinking fearful thoughts. Right. So if you are so worried, you are thinking again and again, what will happen if I will do this, if I will do that. Okay. So then that fear will be converted into phobia. And phobia is dangerous. That is also called mental disorder. And phobia is not good. So there might be a different kind of phobia, like phobia of heights, phobia of water, phobia of exam, phobia of interview, phobia of public speaking, anything else. So, what do you think? If you are having any kind of phobia, so you should be in that phobia or you should come out from that phobia. So definitely you should come out. So firstly, you should ask with yourself why you have particular phobia. Firstly, you should ask yourself. For example, if you are having phobia of public speaking, so firstly, gentle question, you should ask yourself why you are scared to speak on a stage. Do you not have that skill? Simple question. So all fears are divided into two categories, either nature-made or man-made. Okay. So if it is nature-made, then you can't do anything, like earthquake. Then you can't do anything. But 95% of phobias that are created by man, and if it is created by man, then definitely you can overcome. Okay, so you should ask why you are having that phobia. So I gave, for example, public speaking. So if you are not confident on a stage, so you should think why you are lagging, why you are fearful. You not have that particular skills that how to speak, how you should express yourself. So you should learn that skill. Similarly, if you are having phobia of water, okay, so then you should learn the skill of swimming, right? So in this world, if you are having any kind of phobia, you can learn that skill and you can come out. Okay, so I will tell you about this later. So today, this meeting is divided into three main categories. First one is prepared speech. Second one is table topic segment, and third one is evaluation segment. But this could not be completed without auxiliary role player. So auxiliary role player will tell you about their role. Today, our timer is TM Ritu. She is passionate about Kathak dance and love to travel and explore new places. So TM Ritu will note how much time taken by you. So let's welcome TM Ritu with a huge round of applause.
Hello everybody, I'm Ritu and I am passionate about Kathak. I'm learning it as well. I'm trying to teach few people and I'm here after so many, like few years back, I was a part of Toastmasters, but I couldn't complete this as of my other responsibilities. I rejoined it after so long and I'm really glad to be here and looking forward to attend all the meetings. And today I'm the Toastmaster timer of the meeting. So for prepared speeches, you will get 5 to 7 minutes. And for table topics, you will get 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluators, I'm forgetting the last one. 2 to 3. Not the time, the title for which the speech is for evaluation 2 to 3 minutes. And 30 seconds time will be given as grace time for the prepared speeches for both upper and the beginner time. But for the table topic, only the 30 seconds time will be given for the upper time only. And that's it for my side. Thank you. I forgot to show the card. I will show the card. Should I continue?
Yes. Thank you, TM Ritu. Now moving forward, today our language evaluator is TM Mayur. So he will keep on eye that which type of word we use. So let's welcome TM Mayur.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Living with phobia can be challenging to all of us, even if we fear object, situation, or it does not regularly appear in your daily life. You may find that a lot of your time is spent worrying that it may appear or figuring out how to avoid it. In fact, by definition, phobia is something that interferes with our life. In today's meeting, we will get to know what kind of phobias our speakers have and how they deal with them. So today I am going to be a language evaluator in this meeting, and the word of the day for today's meeting is ramification. which means a complex or unwelcome consequences of an action or event. It's an appeal to all of you to please make an generous use of word of the day and make the meeting ineffective. And besides that, I'll be noting down the good uses as well as not good uses during the speeches. And I'll be reporting at the end whenever called by general evaluator. Moreover, I'll also noting down the uses of word of the day. And also one request to all of you, whenever somebody uses the word of the day, make generous show of thumbs up. So hoping great speeches from everybody, and back to team order. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Mayor. Next, today our accountant is TM Arvind. He works in MNC company, and his strong point is patience. So today he will patiently note down filler words. So let's welcome TM Arvind.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. I'll be playing the role of a counter today. But before I start with my brief introduction, let's briefly talk about fear. We all have our own fears, which we know better than anybody else. But what's the fear in common? And I believe the common fear is the fear of public speaking. We all have it. Some have it more, some have it less, but we all have it. And when we are in front of public and we are speaking something, we release a stress hormone, which we tend to use some unnecessary sounds or words. So as the counter, my responsibility is to count those unnecessary sounds and repetitive words that you may use while delivering your speech at the stage. These words are like maybe, like, etc., etc. These are actually fillers that affect the effectiveness of your speech. So I will be counting them and I will present my report to you right at the end of the meeting. That's it for now. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, TM Arvind. For a smooth conduction of everything, there are certain rules and regulations. So today, our parliamentarian is TM Malvika. She will tell you rule and regulation that what you should follow. So let's welcome TM Malvika.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Well, phobia is something which is a very natural feeling and is omnipresent among all living beings. It knocks the door of every individual at some point of their life. The bandwidth of phobias is still infinity. Talking about myself, I'm a person who is full of phobias. I'm afraid of something as basic as height, water, animal, fire, to more complex dimensions like public speaking and social anxiety. In short, phobias encompasses the entire circumference of my life. The most prominent among all was resistance against discussing about my fears on a public platform. But few days back, I came across a very empowering thought. That was that fears are something that we acquire in a due course of life. Nobody is born with it. Hence, the good thing about fears is that they are changeable and they can be unlearned. This thought gave me intense courage to overcome the shadows of darkness. So here I am discussing about my fears on a public platform. Hopefully, this will be a stepping stone towards overcoming the hiccups of fears in my journey of life. Coming to my role, first of all, ironically, being a brilliant student in school, I always used to stand outside the class, and today I'm a parliamentarian. So I'll try that the entire meeting is conducted within the designated rules and regulations. The guidance of the same are as follows. For the members who are joining us virtually, I would request you to please switch off your audio throughout the meeting unless you get a chance to speak. Please switch on your videos throughout the meeting to ensure that meeting is conducted, to ensure that meeting is more interactive. Phone should be kept on silent throughout the meeting. Also, members who are present in the physical mode are requested to enter and exit the stage during applause. And please refrain from using any negative reference to color, caste, or creed. Lastly, topics like politics, gender, and sex are not a taboo, but they should be spoken with caution. I would urge you to stick to all the rules and regulations. I'll see you at the end of the session with my final report. Thank you. Back to you.
Very nice, TM Malvika. Thank you. Next, our listener is TM Kanav. He will check our listening capability. So let's welcome TM Kanav.
Thank you, Timur. If we listen to our peers, we get to know that we are lying to ourselves. So today, I'm Kanav. I'll be playing the role of listener, and in the end, I'll be asking questions about how well you are listening and how you are helping the speaker. Thanks.
Thank you, TM Kanav. Next, today our joke master is TM Anmol. So our mood would be lightened by TM Anmol. So he is an aspiring graphic designer. So let's welcome TM Anmol.
Thank you for the introduction, Timur. You see, today's topic is fear, right? But I can say that I don't fear anything. I'm the most cleverest, most fearless person ever. You can say I'm the James Bond of things, especially hiding things. I can hide things really well, whether it be a secret, or in my case, it was my exam paper. I used to fail a lot, and I used to hide my papers meticulously. Every day, I used to figure thousands of possibilities of how my mom and dad could find these papers, and I met my match. These were, well, I guessed it, or you guys guessed it. It's my mom and dad. My mom and dad were my maths, and they used to always find my paper. And this was the conversation when the first day my mom found my paper. Anmol, what is this? I thought you didn't get your exam results. Those are last year's you see that. But the date is pretty recent. It's a week ago. About that, come on, go ahead, say it. Say it louder. Come on. Those are actually last year, so they're not. No. Look into my eyes and say that this is a straight face. Would you mind? Come on. Say it. Okay, you got me. They are pretty decent, and I think. You see, this was the conversation that I had with my parents, and to this day, I still don't know how my parents used to find these things, and how still they could just say this one word, look into my eyes, and they used to find what I was writing. So with this thought, when I was writing this, I thought, how can parents be using, well, they can, okay.
So I found out this one thing. Maybe what we can do with our parents is parents can open their own private investigation agency, right? I mean, for example, there's a theft, the thief comes in, you sit with the thief, instead of like a half an hour conversation trying to break the thief, you can already say, go to a parent and say, and the parent can come in and say, look into my eyes and say that. The thief will literally overlook, literally spew everything that he has, every secret, everything. And it's very cost effective, by the way, parents, I mean, it doesn't require any money. And by the way, like, just forget about the private investigation thing. They can be used. I mean, parents can have. Imagine parents are bosses, right? Parents are interviewed. I mean, for example, imagine you just clocked out of a shift, and your parents or your boss comes in and says, "Have you filled out the water bottle yet?" I mean, that would be pretty. That would be a pretty interesting conversation. Well, that's all from my side. Mr. Teamwork.
Thank you, Anmol, for entertaining us. So now let's do ramifications on fear. So now our first segment that is going to start, prepare speeches. I say that is digestive system of our body. So today, our first speaker is guest Rupinder, and he would be evaluated by DTM Sabri Giri. DTM Sabri Giri, he is doctor by profession and Toastmaster by passion. So it is requested to read out a speech objective of TM Rupinder. Yes. Please, let's welcome.
Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh is today presenting his second project at level 1 from the pathways, evaluation and feedback. The primary objective of the speech is to bring in all the evaluation and feedback that he got in his project 1, incorporate them into the speech, which will again prove the point that he has been an active listener in listening to the evaluation that he got in project number 1. The speech that he is going to deliver today is titled World Needs a Storyteller. World needs a storyteller. Repeat.
Thank you, DTM Sabri Giri. Today, our first speaker is TM Rupinder. He is from other club. He was a past district ISP champion and first runner-up at the semi-final of Toastmasters International World Championship of Public Speaking. PM Rupinder, the world needs a storyteller. The world needs a storyteller. PM Rupinder. Let's welcome PM Rupinder with a huge round of applause. Raise your hand if you think that COVID is still a problem. Those online can also raise their hands. I'm glad to see how many hands, so many hands go up. And yet, how many of you are wearing masks? Don't reach for your mask now. Honestly, it is not your fault. The problem is that the story on wearing a mask has not been told properly. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and very welcome guests. Today, more than ever, the world needs storytellers. And I am here to tell you a story. Relax, it's not about math.
This story takes you to Africa. Now, if you go to Africa, you'll find that there is a lake called Lake Kivu, Kivu. Do I have your attention? Doesn't matter. Lake Kivu is about 90 kilometers long at its longest. It is about 50 kilometers wide at its widest. Its average depth is 450 meters. Do I have your attention? Still doesn't matter. It is bordered by Rwanda and Central African Republic. Now, you would say, why am I talking about Central African Republic, Rwanda, and a lake that is in between them? Well, if you have the right kind of equipment, and if you were to dive down into the depths of Lake Kivu, you would find that it has over 300 billion cubic meters of carbon dioxide. Now, we all studied back in class 7 or 8 that carbon dioxide dissolves in water at higher pressures. That's the principle behind a Coke can. It's nothing but carbonated water kept under pressure. Now, as long as the water is down there, it's stable. That carbon dioxide is getting produced, it is getting dissolved. But imagine if you were to take a Coke can, give it a violent shake, and then open it, what happens? The Coke comes out. What could cause this carbonated water to be upset? Ever heard of seismic events, earthquakes, volcanic eruption nearby? And you see, when that happens, the balance is going to get disturbed. The water at the bottom will churn. It will rise up. And when it rises up, the carbon dioxide becomes less soluble. As it becomes less soluble, it will start rising up. 300 cubic meters of carbon dioxide coming out of the lake like a giant tsunami. 2 million people live along the shoreline of Lake Kivu. That tsunami will not kill the 2 million people. You see, carbon dioxide is heavier than air. It will form an envelope before it dissipates into the air. Every living thing will die and asphyxiate in it. The process is called a limbic eruption. Do I have your attention now? Well, obviously not good enough, because there was a storyteller better than I am who went to the authorities and told the story about 2 million lives at stake in countries like Rwanda and Central African Republic. Not your favorite tourist destination, but someone listened. And now they've got a series of pumps installed along the lake that are releasing carbon dioxide into the air in controlled quantities. And now, another good thing is that methane is also getting produced, which is being used for fuel and electricity purposes. Now, do I have your attention? It took a storyteller to convince them. Today, I am in the company of storytellers, not in this room, but also on Zoom. And I'm wondering which one of you storytellers is going to get up one day and tell the real story on wearing a mask, why wearing a mask is necessary. I wonder which one of you is going to tell a story about global warming, why it is so harmful. And I wonder which one of you is going to probably talk sense into our political leaders. Because believe me, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my very welcome guests, today more than ever, the world needs
storytellers.
Thank you, TM Rupinder, for wonderful speech. Now today, our second speaker would be evaluated by TM Ritvik. He is pursuing Bachelor in Economics from Delhi University. When he speaks, we can see his face, how much he is confident. So let's welcome TM Ritvik for read out the speech objective of TM Vedant. So let's welcome.
Great performance guests out here. Do I have a recognition, please? It does matter. Today, speaker TM Vedant Pradhan is giving his L1 PT speech from the Pathways Presentation Mastery with the project title being Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. And as the project title sounds itself, the purpose is to use these parameters in their speech to influence the public. So let's see if you can create an impactful speech here to create a wave of positive ramifications on the floor. With all that being said, it's a request to the timer to please note the speaker will, at the end of 5 minutes, you have to show the green card, at the end of 6 minutes, you have to show the yellow card, and at the end of 7 minutes, you have to show the red card. Sorry. With all that being said, the stage is yours. Hope you put fire on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, TM Ritvik. So today our second speaker, TM Vedant, is chemical engineer. So let's welcome TM Vedant. TM Vedant, leveling up, TM Vedant.
Thank you, TM Modi. On this last Friday, I got a message on my phone from TISA. Now, what is TISA? TISA is the Indian Salmon Association. And the message read, TISA Delhi unit is organizing a physical meeting on this Sunday, and everyone who is there in Delhi can come and join in. The agenda of the meeting is to first perform some breathing exercises in the first half, and then to perform a task inside the metro. Now, what was this task that they were talking about? The task was to give a speech inside the metro. Now, when I read this message, my mind became numb for a few seconds. And I messaged the admin of that group. Because speech that's inside the metro, is it even allowed? Like, you can just go in there and people are commuting to their office, you are standing here giving a speech. Are people even going to listen to you? Well, all these thoughts were going on in my mind, and I was juggling between should I go or should I not go. Then this one thought came inside my head that, Vedant, remember that promise you made to yourself 6 months back while you were struggling with stammering, your low self-confidence and self-doubt every time? You had said that I will keep on improving myself each and every single day by doing things which scare me. And I will not make any excuses whatsoever obstacles come in my way. And that's the reason you joined TISA and then Toastmasters, right? Well, yeah, you are right. So, well, today you have that opportunity to go out there and face your fears, to level up yourself to a whole new level, and to gain new experience in life. So I got convinced, and on Sunday, I boarded the metro at Rajiv Chowk. I went inside. Now, guys, visualize this thing. In a particular coach, there are 3 supporting pillar rods throughout the coach. The first one is here on one end, then there's the middle, and then the third one is here on the right side. I was leaning against this one supporting pillar rod, and there I saw the whole crowd. Some men were sitting on my right side, who were in their 50s. I think they might be going to the office. Then on my left side was a group of ladies, and then there were some fashion show girls, and after that there were a group of young men who were, I think, going to their office as usual.
Gobi Manchurian order. Wow.
I had to grab the attention of my whole crowd. So I started with 2 words. Excuse me. Now, all the people who were using the smartphone, they looked up. Who is this guy? And why is he shouting like this inside the metro? This is a public space, damn it. Few people said like this. But I didn't listen. Now it was my time to deliver a speech. I started my speech. Now I had to start my speech by this word. Hello everyone, myself so and so, and today I am going to give a speech on the topic pollution. I chose pollution because it was a non-controversial topic, and that's the only topic I could think of at that moment. But you know what happened? I fumbled on the very first 2 words, hello everyone. My mouth was like this. Hello. So I did like this. For the first initial 5 seconds, everybody was staring at me. There was a pin drop silence inside the metro. Then I took a deep breath. I cleared my mind. Now there was no second thought, and I continued my speech. And believe me, I didn't fumble at all after that. My mind was clear. My mind was in the present state at the time of delivering that speech. I was not fearful. There was no stress, anxiety. And after I had finished my speech, like there was a feeling that something very heavy has gotten off my chest. I was more self-confident. I was like I felt good. My mind was relaxed. And then with these thoughts, I got off at Chandni Chowk and enjoyed some really cool delicacy of Delhi's street. Now with this incident, I got a few learnings. The first learning was that after a certain time, you need to level up yourself. Otherwise, the pace at which you are in that moment, it becomes your comfort zone. And nothing productive grows in comfort zone. Also, when you are leveling up to a different level, the uncertainties and the number of things that might go wrong increases. But it also compels you to be the best version of yourself to handle those very situations. So that was my whole experience of this crazy Sunday. Back to T-Mod.
Thank you, TM Vedant, for wonderful speech. So I request everyone, please give feedback to TM Rupinder and TM Vedant. So moving forward, third speaker would be evaluated by TM Sarthak. So he is going to read out a speech objective of TM Kashish Jain. Let's welcome TM Sarthak.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My speaker, Mr. Kashish Jain, would be presenting his Level 3 Project 1 speech. And his pathway is strategic relationship. The objective of his project for the member to cultivate an understanding of how his or her emotions impact relationships. It is also designed to help the member identify how other emotions impact his or other emotional states. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience, generalizing emotions of being aware of emotions when interacting with others. So I would wish all the best to Toastmaster Kashish for presenting the speech. Over to Tima. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Sar sir. So now our third speaker is going to give a speech. His topic is fitness and its journey. TM Satish Jain, fitness and its journey. Fitness and its journey. TM Satish Jain. So the stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Don't you think that trial rooms are a place where you confess that you're fat? Because the mirror in your house, you've already convinced it. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not that fat. And these trial rooms are so small. One mirror here, one mirror there. And why is it? Because you can closely look at how fat you are actually. So tell me honestly, how many times it has happened that you are opening the door of trial room and you are like, कुछ भी हो जाए, आज से dieting करूँगा. Whatever happens, I diet today. And suddenly, that friend of you standing there says, "Hey, butter chicken खाने चलेगा? Will you go and eat butter chicken today?" And you are like, I can't be so harsh on myself. Let's diet from tomorrow. Okay, tell me how many of you go to gym regularly? You can raise your hand. Okay, we have few members. There are two types of people who go to gym. The first, who goes, and the second one, who goes to pay annual membership. They're like, Bhaiya, ye lo annual membership. This is your protein money. Whether we come or not, your biceps should not squeeze. And I also joined the gym. So when I went there, I saw that the trainer focus is on PPT. Anyone knows PPT? Okay, I will tell you. PPT is protein and personal training. So the trainer came to me and said, Kashish, what are your goals? I said, this goal, I wanted to make it clear. I was a bit fat that time. And naturally, yes, protein, no. And he said, go and do this. I regularly did it. I did it for 3 complete days and I got fed up. I said, yeah, I'm doing it for the last few days, 3 days I have done. Tell me something new. Okay. Go and do skipping. So I came to gym after 3 days. I think many of you didn't get it. do study. Okay, so once again he came and he tells, Kashish, exercising is a mind game. So I came with my yoga mat again the next day and I said, we're like, oh, get up. What are you doing? Like, wait, I'm running in my mind. You said it's mind game. And my steps are about to over.
How many of you use Fitbit? Fitbit is a common one nowadays. Fitbit. Okay, only one. The rest of okay, 2, 3. So there are people, and the rest, I think they would be busy completing their steps. So I also started using this Fitbit. And when you start using this Fitbit, you are so motivated at the beginning. When you are so motivated at the beginning, I was also. And I went to there was a match at that day, and I had to reach to the ground. So I said to my friends, "Hey friends, today we will walk to the ground." And the reply came, "Hey friends, you walk alone." I was also okay. I'll walk alone. And after walking for 15 minutes, I realized that my ground is 10 kilometers away from. And I reached with my kids hanging on to the ground, like I was literally doing like. Then eventually I reached, and all my friends were there inviting me. Hey! I was like, what happened? They said that Kashish, one inning is over and our batting is over. Now come and do fielding. And I was like, oh God, I'm not playing. Okay, one more incident I want to share it with you related to this only. That when I joined gym, one of my friend also joined it with me. So he joined and he wanted to go to Goa, the place which is known to show your sexiness. And he was a bit fat that time. So we tried, his main goal was that his weight was 34 and he wanted a 32 weight. Okay. So he hard worked, he continued his diet for 4 months completely. And when you continue his diet for this period of time and do hard work, you become fit. Finally, the day came when he went for shopping and he wanted to purchase that 32 weight. So he went to the trial room and he saw that shop I got fit that 32 weight. And he was like literally like dancing, yay! And he went, he came outside the door. Man came there and he literally slowly said to him, yeah, कुछ brands होते हैं ना इसके size vary करते हैं. These brands size vary, and this was the time he literally flew away and he left the gym. And the dream of going to Goa was fulfilled. Don't think that it was not fulfilled. But yeah, that weight was not that. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmasters. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, TM Kasesh, for giving fitness tips so nicely. So I request everyone, please give your feedback to all speakers and let's give huge round of applause to all speakers. I request Tech Master, please launch the ballot. Thank you so much, PM Moody. For people who are new to this room, we have this group called Physical Meeting Group on WhatsApp. What I want you to do is to scan this code using open your WhatsApp, swipe to the camera and scan this code. You will be added to a group and there you'll find the link to group. I'm passing on the QR code. And for the members in the virtual audience, you have the link on the chat box. Can you please pass that? For the members who prefer physical mode only and do not want to be the part of the group, they can write the winner's name. Who do you think was the best speaker of this evening? And give it to me in a chat in person or privately. We had distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, then we had Toastmaster Vedant and Toastmaster Kashish who delivered their speeches. I hope everyone in the room is in the group. If someone on the virtual audience is facing an issue, please unmute yourself and tell us.
Hi, Karandeep. This is Arvind.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is my office laptop, and due to some security issue, I cannot log into the link that you have sent.
That's not an issue. Can you please privately text me on Zoom your vote?
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope we are done in the physical room. Thank you very much, and back to Toastmasters. So now, time has come to kick impromptu fear. So definitely, you can learn a skill and you can practice. You can learn a skill and you can practice it. So today, our table topic master is TM Ankit Sinha. He is corporate consultant, and his strong point is he is always ready to learn anything. So let's welcome with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests. Today we have 18 members in this room, but the flag should be like you. Thank you. Even if you miss Toastmaster Vedant's metro ride, it's time to catch another ride. You can practice it here, go inside the metro, deliver your speech. So that's a rehearsal can be done here. Who can deliver? At least the members who have some role, they are quite safe. But even if you do not have any role, you can come here and try. It's very simple, 1 minute to 2 minutes. Even if you have to be here just less than a minute, just be here, watch everyone, try to speak something. If thoughts are not coming, just tell, I'm coming from that place to that place, something like this. And if you cross that mark, that means 2 minute mark, you can go up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. We have timers, so for Ritu, she will show green card at 1 minute 30 seconds, at 2 minutes yellow, and the 2 minutes 30 seconds red card. So who wants to come first? Deep silence. Even people who are in the virtual room can also come. If no one wants to come, I'm going to choose people who do not have any role. I would prefer. So Toastmaster Puja is already. You are the evaluator for something? Oh, then you cannot jump. So Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan. Playing any role today? Then please come here. I know what are the topics. Topics are very simple. So Toastmasters Sanchit, topic is if you could ask God one question, what would it be? If you could ask God one question, what would it be? Stage is on. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My first question would be, why God has made everyone very powerful? Very powerful, yes, very powerful, because we have ask the God that please stop sound like this. That one person is lecturing in the stage on a Central Delhi Toastmaster Club, basically. So everyone has a potential, everyone has the power to build himself, to build other as well. So this was the thing first I would like to ask God. And second thing, I would ask God that don't left any stone unturned to become my life worse. Because if life is worse, there is a chances to grow up. And where there is a chances to grow up, there is a need to change and there is a way to change person itself and the world itself and your environment itself. Third thing I would like to ask the God that please create the environment which suits or which forces me to develop myself, or I can spare my good things to them that they also become more grow and they also become more powerful and strengthened. And I would like to ask God one more thing, that the people of Central Delhi Toastmaster Club, basically members of Central Delhi Toastmaster Club, all of them become very powerful, very energetic, public speaker and a great leader. Thank you. So you have seen when God comes in our table topics, the quality of the volume that we have. So Toastmaster Sanchit has qualified for his metro speech. Who wants to come next? Yes, can also yes, please come. Your name, please? Simran. Yes, Simran is all ready. Here comes a simple topic for you. If you could make a movie, what would it be about? If you could make a movie, what would it be about? Yes, Simran, this is all yours.
So I've thought about it a lot of time, and thank you for the question. If I could make a movie, I would want to make a movie about my childhood, but not just what my childhood was, but what I wish my childhood could be. I would make a movie about, well, let me give you some context. I'm from Uttarakhand, so I'm from a place called Pauri Garhwal, in a very small village called Palkot, which is near Pokhri. But unfortunately, I never lived there. My father was in the Indian Navy, so I'd travel places to places every few years, trying to find friends and schools and fit in and become someone that people would like and want to be friends with. What I would want to make a movie about is what it would be like, what it could have been like to grow up in Palkot, in Pokhri, in Pauri, and to be friends with kids there that I now go and see and enjoy the simple joys of life, play with the cows and take their milk out, and it's not easy. I don't want to romanticize it. I also would want to see what the challenges were, and I want to show that in that movie. I want to show what it's like to be a kid from a village in Garhwal, a place that everyone has forgotten about, a place that people are leaving, and I want to show that to the world. I want to see it for myself, and I want to show that to every little girl in villages like that, all across the Himalayas, all across India, so that they can see a part of themselves which is never shown anywhere. I wish I could make a movie about that if I had the money and the resources and the power to make a movie. I would do that. Thank you.
literally to that place. At Pori, Garwar, and things were happening like this. I was watching. Hope she would be able to make that movie. This time we will take members from or guests from virtual stage. Tech Master, could you please help me out?
We have Apurva and Toastmaster Purva.
Toastmaster Purva Singh. So Toastmaster Purva Singh, are you ready?
Yes.
Mike Singh, Toastmaster Purva Singh. Toastmaster Purva Singh, say hi. You are ready?
Hi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible both. So here comes your topic. Your topic is you are going to die in next 8 hours. What would you do? You are going to die in next 8 hours. What would you do? Toastmaster Apurva, you have just 8 hours.
Well, thank you so much for this iconic question I just got. And okay, if I would be dying in 8 hours, so probably I would like to meet my Toastmasters members first, because I haven't got the chance to be on the stage over there in CP. And also that I would like to tell everyone, like my friends and family and other close people I have in my life, that how much I love them and how much I will be missing them and all, and I will be scaring them, like telling them, okay, like guys, I'll be dying in 8 hours, so just do whatever you want to do with me. If you want to have any party or anything else, so I'll do whatever my friends will tell me to do in those particular 8 hours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who wants to come next? Do we have anyone who is here, do not have any role, still trying to hide himself or herself? Toastmaster Naveen Singh Makkar, he is not playing any role today. So your topic is again a very simple thing, a little bit creative. You need to guess one by one. Within your time limit, what you can do. Guess what other persons are thinking one by one. Right? One line. Right? What other person, maybe just like what Ranveer is thinking, what Sarsha, what Ritu, what Rumika, and so on. Within your 2.5 time. The stage is all yours. The time starts now.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for an interesting topic. Okay, so let's start with Karanveer. I think Karanveer is thinking about the technical glitches that we are facing right now, and the speaker should be focused on the screen of the laptop. So it's that's the problem we are facing right now. So he's trying to sort out that, and Toastmaster Sarthak is, I think he might be preparing his evaluator script. Toastmaster Ritu is looking, she's the timer today, so she'll be noting down all the times and everything. Toastmaster Umika. I don't know. Okay, so Toastmaster Simran. She has just given her table topic speech, so I think she must be thinking how it went, and I think I personally think it was really nice. And I think you have visited our club for like 3rd or 4th time, and I remember in every table topic she is the one who comes up first and speaks. And Toastmaster Pooja is evaluating me. Then Toastmaster Malvika, she is the parliamentarian, so she will be noting down the discipline in the meeting. Then Toastmaster Rupinder is on his phone taking WhatsApp. Toastmaster Ritvik, he's thinking where to go to have his dinner after the meeting. And then Toastmaster Girish is listening to me. I don't know. Then I think you are a guest today. I don't know. So about you? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well done, Toastmaster Navya. It's not an easy task to look at the person and guess what that person is thinking. So last participant of this evening, this segment, Toastmaster Ritik wants to come. Please come. Okay, Toastmaster Ritik, your topic is you invite someone on a date. But forget your wallet. You invite someone on a date, but forget your wallet. That's the story. Toastmaster Ritik will say.
So after having boasted off my feminist affiliations back in school days while working in Girl Up Empowered and taking my project, I believe that is the best place to exercise my feminism on the date table itself. The date is over. The lady is smiling. I hope I'm not that bad to not make her smile at least. After all that being said, the bill is up there on the table. And who's going to pay? My personal wallet is absolutely empty. Oh no. The back end Toastmasters, it has taught me something to manage situations. So I have to manage the situation. What to do? I remember, why not do something so that this girl calls me for a second date? And I try to make her feel safe, talk decently, not like a thief, talk very decently, with her like a gentleman, make her feel safe and all of that. So after all, she calls me for a second date. Then I go and punch this line. Well, I believe in feminism as I spoke in the big right. Why not you pay this time? I'll pay the next time. So she goes on to pay. Then I remember, oh, I have my Paytm, right? I forgot. After that, I go and pay on Paytm, the half price. Then I go, I leave that at home. I take her and escort her to her house, give her a goodbye, because I do not expect something to get at the first day itself, so do not make any assumption. After that being said, I come back home, give her a message, don't worry, I cannot pay you money, but I'll surely pay you all my heart to the coming dialogue. That's all I'm saying.
So, Mr. can we take one or two more? Yes, if you allow. So who wants to? Mr. Omika? So Toastmaster Omika, here comes your topic. If you could have one food for the rest of your life, what would you choose? If you have one food for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
A very good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. How are you all today?
Great.
So, one food for the rest of my life. Let me think about it. Biryani and malai. Well, I would get bored of with it after a while. Oh, how about the soya chapel? The taste the same. In India, we have one of the better and one of the really good systems, which is known as thali, popularly. And now there are various kinds of this. Punjabi thali, there's a Gujarati thali, there are all kinds of thalis that are present to us. And as my wish that what could I have in that one thali, I would do it in all mix. Some biryani with some malai kulfi, some tikkas, or some Gujarati food and some Punjabi food, and whatever I would like to eat. Because that's the best thing about the thali. You can have everything to your heart's content. And there's one more thing. You don't really have to wait for dessert to finish your meal and then have to do it. There's a gulab jamun there, and you don't really want to have the rice and dal. Go ahead, have the gulab jamun because nobody will, question you like school times or like childhood times. That you have to eat every bite of your meal with before you can have your dessert. So that's the specialty of a thali, I think. Thank you so much.
Can we take one last from virtual stage? Anyone is raising hand from virtual stage? Because in virtual stage we have a liberty that we are raising our hand, don't know what happened. Anyone from virtual stage, tech master?
Please ask them to unmute.
Please unmute yourself. No.
Can I? This is Arvind.
Toastmaster Arvind. So Toastmaster Arvind.
Yes.
Here comes your topic. Your topic is, if you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be? If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be? So Toastmaster Arvind, stage is all yours.
Well, I'm repenting. Why did I say I want to participate? But yeah, it's late now. It's pretty late. Well, if I commit crime and get away with it, whoa. Of course, I want to kill somebody and get away with it. But just looking for the people whom I can kill and get away with that. Because the reason I say why would I want to kill anybody, because that's the heinous crime that anybody can do to anyone. So that's why I chose it. There is no specific reason behind it, but yeah, I just went by the heinous way. If you want to kill, there are certain people whom I hate a lot, and we cannot talk about politics, so I'm really not gonna put their name. But there are certain people who've been making the environment so badly polluted. So I really want to kill those people and get away with that. There are a bunch of people, and I want to kill them and get away with that, and I'll be fine. I wouldn't have any regret for it. But yeah, I want to do something like that. Maybe it sounds like creepy, but yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the participants. Your Mother Puja's live is going to be a bit little difficult. 7 contestants that we had, and I'm going to hand over stage back to our Toastmaster Gade. Please welcome him.
Thank you, TM Ankit, for very nice conducting, and thank you all participants. So, Tech Master, are we launching phone for best speaker or after break? Okay, thank you. Yes, please.
Those are again in the WhatsApp group, the same group you are part of. If you still haven't joined, please let me know if you're facing any difficulty. Ten more seconds and then we continue. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. So now we are taking 5 minutes break. After 5 minutes, session will restart. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, Toastmasters and my dear friends. It's my turn to tell you a story. Have you heard the story about the ant climbing the Everest? No? Neither have I. But at this point of time, I feel like the ant standing at the foothills of the Everest which is going to climb, because right inside me is a great amount of fear trying to evaluate an ace speaker, someone who always owns the stage and his audience, and someone who is a wordsmith. I'm talking about my evaluee, Rupinder. Rupinder was doing a project 2, in which he was to integrate all the evaluation that was given in the earlier project, and I'm 100% sure that he has done it. He needs something more. He was talking about world needs more storytellers. I don't agree. I think world needs more storytellers like Rupinder. But having said that, let us dive deep into the storytelling itself. Every story has got a structure. It has got a setup where it happens to other people. It has got a plot as the people interact with each other. The story just climbs up to a crescendo, and that's what we call the climax. When the problem gets resolved and everything ends with a moral of the story. If you do a forensic audit of his speech, the story that he was saying, definitely yes. The setup was perfect. He time zoned you into Rwanda, and there you have that Lake Kivu, miles and miles across, length, width, and many, many meters deep. Well, incidentally, Lake Kivu was also the only character in this story. And he developed that character so beautifully as the plot started building up. On the surface, everything is around absolutely fine. 200,000 people are staying around it. But in the depth of it, this character was a rustling giant with 300 cubic centimeters of carbon dioxide waiting to come in a limbic eruption, creating havoc. What a beautiful build-up. But then, the limbic eruption never happened. Technically, in a story, the climax has to be a climax. And then only it can recede into the space of ending up with a moment. Therefore, one of my recommendations to him would be that take a story with which you take them to climb any height, the audience, and then drop them down like a hornpipe, which was probably something he could have had. Last but not the least, a speaker of his level and standard would have 3 objectives. First, to educate the audience, which he did amply. To entertain the audience, which he did again. And of course, to energize. A shot of adrenaline into his pace and speed would have made a lot of difference for all of us. Last but not the least, what I loved the most was the end. Started, rhymed it with his title, World Needs Mars. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Abhi. Let us now invite our second evaluator, Toastmaster Vidar, who will be evaluating the speech by Toastmaster Vidar.
Believe me, I didn't fumble after that. This sheer confidence up to the point, raising his voice, that's what showed confidence, interest with all the audience in at all, showing audience awareness at the same time. He used a whole speaking area with being those hand gestures, great voice modulation coming at one conference. For example, excuse me, sudden release of voice gives attention. Second, it shows a more important point that is to follow. Third, who is this guy and why? This stammering and repeating a particular word shows disgust with a raise of voice and the play with face of power, which shows a greater impact. Excellent use of hand gestures throughout his speech, great use of speaking area, jumping from here to there and using different ways of how to give impact to his words. Well, I must say he had wheels in his words. Kya bhai, सुबह सुबह पी रखा है क्या? You got a sense of humor in the speech too. A sense of humor too. Imagery of mentioning old people, young people. So he is literally taking us from where we are to where he wants to ask us to be in. Audience awareness, as mentioned, was absolutely phenomenal. So because in Toastmasters, we believe in making a good speech better the next time. So here are my recommendations to you. Maybe a role play of conscience and devil while you were contemplating whether to go to this or not, that would have been better. Believe me, I didn't fumble after that. Maybe you could have used my fingers here. For example, believe me, I didn't fumble after that. Something like that. Coming into the stage, showing importance, that's how it goes. Something heavy had got off my chest. That's what you mentioned. You could have given a breathing gesture here. Something heavy got off my chest. One, the first learning. Second learning. Using fingers to show the number of learnings you had. Audience would have been better aware of the number of learnings you had. You could have also moved from side to side while you were describing the number of audience, the type, the demographic graphics that you were mentioning there. So maybe that would have added an impetus to you. With all that being said, to summarize, great hand gestures, great eye contact, great play of face and power, sense of humor, imagery, vocal clarity, usage of the speaking area, audience awareness, no unintentional movement, but only purposeful movements with some recommendations for you to get challenged the next time. The role play of a conscience and the devil, finger movements, besides hand movements, breathing gestures, a sigh of relief, and coming near and away from the stage to show importance of a particular topic. So all that is said, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritwik, for that energetic evaluation. Let's move to our third evaluator, Toastmaster Sarthak Arora, who will be evaluating the speech by Toastmaster Kashish Jain.
After listening to Toastmaster Kashish, how many of you are able to remember your fitness time? Can I raise of hands? Almost everyone. And even, how many of you were able to remember the time when you used to go to gym just for return? How many of you are able to remember that time even? Only one. I believe whosoever is renewing must be doing the gym. Right? Kudos to Toastmaster Kashish for delivering his Level 3 Project 1 speech. The speaker has done well in 3 things. Let me share with you what are those 3 things. Here, the speaker has done well. First, he was able to engage the audience with his humor, with his emotions, like the way when he told that he has paid the membership fees, but somewhere he was expressing that emotion by laying on the bed and don't want to go there, right? Even I feel that when he was asking the question, all the audience, all the members were raising the hand even, and even I did. So somewhere the engagement rate in his speech was sensational, powerful. Now I feel that his speech has some personal stories which we are also able to connect and which made all of us remember the time of our fitness. And I believe everyone, most of us are youngsters here, and somewhere we all love to go to gym, right? So somewhere I also made remember of my time. Yes, in 2018, I also used to go to gym. Just I paid the membership fee for 1 year just in excitement. Somewhere I just paid there for just 1 week, and after next week I was in my bed for whole year. Third thing which I feel, which I loved about his, the way he used that short form PPT. When he say PPT, I was thinking he will be speaking about something related to PowerPoint presentation. But he used it he connected that thing to the theme, to his speech title, that is the fitness, that is protein and personal training. Now, some recommendation, Toastmaster Kashish, which I would like to tell you so that you can excel in your next speech. When you came on the stage, when the speaker came on the stage, somewhere I was observing that he was just keeping his jeans like this. So somewhere it was awkward reaction to the audience. And even I was looking at the claps was so much by the speaker itself. So that can be avoided. Even I feel that emotions were there, but less emotions, more humor was there. So these were some recommendations I somewhere feel the speaker has to work upon, and I would like to challenge you to go ahead with the flow, the way you have done in this speech, and work upon your recommendations. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarkar. Let us now vote for the best evaluator. The polls will be launched in the right. So let us welcome our table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja.
Firstly, I would like to thank our team for a beautiful theme just covering our phobias. I quite enjoyed listening to everyone, and that was a great theme to start with. Starting with our first table topic speaker, Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan. Great start, very energetic, and I think he gave a great message that don't leave any stone unturned. Just since there's always a scope to improve, there is just one recommendation I felt that maybe that could have the table topic could have been more in a story form instead of point of like question number 1, 2, 3. Instead of asking questions to her, it could have been more in a story form. But overall, great energy. Next is our guest Simran. I felt that was a prepared speech. It didn't seem like an impromptu speech. Very well structured and beautiful description. So I completely enjoyed. I don't have any recommendations. Next is Toastmaster Apurva Singh. Well done, Apurva. Maybe you could have spoken for a little more, but otherwise, great impromptu speaking. After that, we have Toastmaster Navya Nadi. The speaker had a beautiful smile on her face, as always. And also the speaker had a great memory and presence of mind. I think she did a great impromptu speaking. Toastmaster Ritwik, I was speechless. I think that was so brilliant, and I love the way you acted. The expression was too good, and the overall the story, it was too good. Sorry, I missed it. Toastmaster Bhumika, great voice modulation. The speaker had a great energy. Actually made us think of food, and I'm still thinking about food, and I'm hungry now. And last, Toastmaster Arvind. Sorry, I was not being able to hear you very clearly. So I won't be able to comment on that. Thank you. Over to the general evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja, for keeping it crisp and clear. Let us now move to launching the polls for the best evaluator. We had 4 evaluators today, 3 prepared speech evaluators and 1 table topic evaluator. Let's take 5 seconds to vote. The polls have been launched. All of you can take your time, and in the meantime, I would like to share my evaluation of all our evaluators today. Firstly, coming to Toastmaster Sabri Girish, evaluator number 1.
Humor in evaluations is something that I find rare, and that is something I loved about. One slight recommendation for our evaluator and our speaker Toastmaster Rupinder is to take a moment to also look at the camera and treat it like an audience member. This will help us give a better experience to our virtual audience member. Now, what I loved the most about his evaluation was the clarity of thought. I did not see any notes in his hand, and that is difficult for evaluations. I'm sure all of us want to learn it. Coming to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Ritwik. He brought an evaluation form with him. I haven't seen it in a very long time in our meeting, and he is rightly our VP. He is trying to push that. So I would encourage you all to take cue from him. Now, one recommendation for him is to work on his specific fillers. Everyone has their own specific fillers. Like for Toastmaster Ritwik, it's with all that being said. With all that being said, the thing I found the best about him is that he is rightly titled as Bonfire. Why? Because he has this energy that I find infectious. When I see him on the stage, I also want to bring out similar energy from within myself. You're welcome. Coming to our third evaluator, I want to first ask a question to everyone. Did Toastmaster start off seem confident or nervous? What do you think? Well, I noticed that when he did a gesture like this, his hand was shaking. But great hold on expression because you all thought he was confident. So well done on that. One recommendation for him would be to try to look up when using notes. This is something I noticed in the prepared speeches segment, although we compensated for that in the evaluation segment. Finally, what I loved about him was how he started by saying, I have 3 points to share. Now, while sharing information with an audience, it is important to guide them. And by saying I have 3 points, coming to first, coming to second, coming to third point, the audience is very clear where in which part of his evaluation he exactly is. One commendation for our third speaker, Toastmaster Kashish, is that he uses humor to his strength. He has discovered this strength and he continues to use it. The next challenge for him would be to, when the audience is not being responsive, when you're asking a question, try to continuously poke them. Give some time to the audience to think, and if they don't respond, well, you make answers. You are the teacher. Coming to our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja, I would like to commend her for being thoughtful and keeping her evaluation crisp. One slight recommendation for her would be to work on her fillers. That was all what I had to share for our evaluators. Now let us invite the auxiliary role player, the team which is taking note of every move you make. Let us start with our timer. Toastmaster Ritu. Okay. Today I will tell you all the timing what on for the prepared speeches. Our first guest was Pupinder Singh, and he spoke about 5 minutes, 59 seconds, and 12 microseconds. And second was Toastmaster Vedant, if I am pronouncing correctly, 6 minutes, 37 seconds, and 20 microseconds. And the Toastmaster Kashish Jan, 7 minutes, 18 seconds, and 70 microseconds. For the table topic, Sanjit spoke about 1 minute and 58 seconds and 14 microseconds. Simran spoke about 1 minute, 47 seconds and 55 microseconds. Purva, 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Navya, 2 minutes and 9 seconds and 79 microseconds. These were the table topics, and other than this, for the table topic, he spoke about 2 minutes and 2 seconds and 39 microseconds. Omika spoke about 1 minute, 31 seconds and 98 microseconds. And Arvind
spoke about 1 minute and 17 seconds and 16 microseconds. These were the table topics. And evaluation sessions, Girish, I don't know whose name, like, I'm pronouncing it correct. And Girish spoke about 3 minutes, 23 seconds, and 31 microseconds. And Ritwik spoke about 3 minutes, 22 seconds, and 10 microseconds. And Sarthak Arora spoke about 3 minutes, 38 seconds, and 75 microseconds. And Pooja spoke about 2 minutes and 2 seconds and 71 microseconds. That's from my side.
Let us invite our next auxiliary role player, language evaluator, Toastmaster Mayur, on the virtual stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, fellow Toastmaster. First of all, thank you to almost every speaker, whether they were the guest or the Toastmaster, because most of them made the meeting great by using new words and phrases. Today we are getting a lot of new words, and it will improve our vocabulary. So and also our word of the day is ramification. It means a complex or unwelcome consequences of an action or event. I hope it will be help to improve your vocabulary, and you can use these words in your daily life. You can try to use this word in your daily life. However, I would not forget to mention the name as well. They were the Toastmasters, Rupinder Singh, Toastmasters, Vedant, also doing their fun, and other speakers also doing their fantastic job. And now I would like to tell you, all are aware of the good words or phrases, and I have been used throughout the meeting. Today's meeting was joined with more of the new phrases, and it will helpful us to know all about that words also, and new adjectives. So striking change, cultivate habit, not take your eyes off your goal, take ownership of their growth. Passion is not planned, it's a feeling. One of the most sincere form of respect is to listen each other. Also, what turn of changes, not the limit of the show, shortened it, sharp spells. I also have to recommend some speakers. Throughout the meeting, the speakers, they have performed wonderfully, and we have got good opportunity to learn all these things. These good words, however, there were certain uses which could be improved, somewhere related to pronunciation errors. But I felt that they were due to the regional influences, and the speaker himself or herself can improve upon by listening to others. So overall, the meeting was great, and I believe that all of you can improve your speaking skills faster than you think. That's all from my side. Thank you, and back to General Evaluator.
Up next is the R counter, Toastmaster Arvind, on the virtual stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone, once again. Well, I always thought in my life that finding flaws in others is the easiest thing in the world. But then I didn't join the Central Delhi Toastmaster Club. It was really hard for me to find flaws in new people, and I really, being here, sarcastic would be the wrong word. I would really being here, a strict teacher there. So here is my report to you. So I'll start with Toastmaster of the Day, Bhavanand Jha. He used words like okay 5 times, like 1 time, and 2 times he used And then come back to timer Ritu Sagal. Ritu used 1 like, 1 and, 2 Then Mayur used 2 Arvind, that is myself, I used 5 times something like this. Then Malvika used 1 and Kanav uses 2 unnecessary pauses. Then there was Anmol. Anmol used I mean 3 times. Rupinder Singh was impeccable. I couldn't hear anything like fillers or unnecessary words. Then Vedant Pradhan used 4 likes, well, and 1 time each. Then Kashish Jain, 1 okay, 2 Then table topic master Ankit Sinha used 2 Sanchit, so 1 time, 2 times. Simran was flawless. Apurva was flawless. Niti used, I think, 3 times. Ritvik, you always impeccable, but this morning, you given me your own weakness. So that was all has been said. You said 3 times. Then Shivangi was great. Umika was flawless. Sabagirish used energize word instead of entertain. Ritvik used speech evaluator 2 times. All what had been said. Sarthik used like 1 time. That's all from my end. Back to general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Let us now invite the parliamentarian Toastmaster Malvika on the physical stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So the mostly the entire meeting was conducted within the designated rules. Just 2 things I would like to mention. Once the meeting was interrupted with some music sound, so please keep your phones on silent. Come on, we can stay away from our phone for 2 hours. And secondly, some of the members who joined us virtually, their videos were turned off throughout the meeting. So please, for next session, turn on your videos for better interactive sessions and better learning sessions. That's it so much. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, now it's time for the listening segment. So let us invite Toastmaster Kanak on the physical stage.
So today topic was fear. I'm still fearing. I'm fearful that what will be happened. And I wrote a quote. I don't know if it would. So I want to start on that note. Quote said by Locke, without memory, man is a perpetual infant. So I want to now I ask some questions. So what the president said white color represent? Purity. Nice. What the president unlearned? Yes. What was the lesson learned by TM Malvika? She talked about.
She talked about her fears and then she took courage to talk about them on stage today. That was one challenge.
Fears are learned through life processes.
Right.
What was the name of the river? By nice. Yes. So now for the virtual audience, what was the topic of the metro speech of PM Vedant? Virtual audience and you.
Speaking in front of people in the metro. Sorry, I think that was speaking in front of the people in the metro.
No. Yes. And last, what was the food that PM Yumika wanted to eat?
Let us vote for the best auxiliary role play. down your move to the last microsecond. Let us see.
Was that a hint?
Okay, while you vote, let me begin with my evaluation of our auxiliary role play. Starting with our timer, Toastmaster Ritu. A recommendation for Toastmaster Ritu would be to reach out to club members before the meeting, try to take a dry run with any of them, and this will help her with knowing what to expect in advance. But what I love about her is that she gave a comeback with this performance to her long lost hometown Toastmasters after 9 years. Welcome back, Toastmaster Ritu. Coming to our language evaluator, Toastmaster Mayur. What I noticed about him is that he delivers as expected when he is prepared, as was visible in the introduction part. But when it comes to impromptu speaking, as was noticeable in the evaluation segment, this is the area he needs to work on. Our next auxiliary role player was the R counter, Toastmaster Arvind. He always delivers as expected, but to go beyond expectations. How to do that? I'll come to that in a bit. Our next auxiliary role player, Parliamentarian Toastmaster Malvika. A recommendation for her would be to go slow. Why? Because when you're sharing information with the audience, it is important to go slow, enunciate, and guide them as to which point you're talking about. She has to list about 7 points for the codes of conduct. So let us go slow and keep track of what we are going to say. One commendation for her would be the use of humor in her introduction part. Our listener, Toastmaster Kanak. A recommendation for him would be to discuss and share his ideas with anyone in the club before the meeting so that they can help him innovate with the role and be better prepared. This has a twin benefit because when you talk to them beyond the meeting, it also helps to network, which is the third purpose of Toastmasters. That is one more reason why we're all here. One commendation for Toastmaster Kanak is that he used what I like the most, self-deprecating humor. He was nervous and he used it to his advantage. Our joke master, Toastmaster Anmol, thank you. What I liked the most about him was using acting and expressions. Even when he says, that seems to sound funny to me. One recommendation for him would be to work on his eye contact, to look at everyone for around 1 second so everyone feels included. Now, coming to a common recommendation for all our auxiliary role players, you deliver your introductions and your reports as expected, but to go beyond your expectations, instead of reporting your commendations to the last microsecond or to the last pillar, take that time in doing something new with the role, experimenting with it, so that someone who, like Toastmaster Rupinder or Toastmaster Sabri Girish, has been in the community for years, even they feel that, okay, this is something that I found new with the role. So that is the next challenge for all our auxiliary role play. Now coming to our other role play, starting with our Sergeant account, Toastmaster Vedant. He presented his role as expected, but a slight mix of energy, and that is because the owner of an energetic meeting is on a Sergeant account. Our president, Toastmaster Kalvi, a commendation for him is that when I first joined, a speaker once said that a Toastmaster can find inspiration even in slang words. And that's what he did today. He found inspiration in the color white. Brownie point for doubling as the tech master for this meeting. One recommendation and a suggestion for him would be that during guest intros, to bring out some innovation with the role, try asking some quirky questions to the guest. It could be something as simple as what's your favorite color? So that it is also something that we look forward to, because it's a quirky question. I also want to hear what they're going to say. coming to our debutant TMOD, Toastmaster Bhavanand. One recommendation for him would be to sprinkle elements of his theme throughout the speech and throughout the course of the meeting. This has twin benefits. Number one is that we all remember to inculcate the theme in our roles. And secondly, this will also help him better manage the time as and when we are going behind the agenda. What I loved the most about his role today was that it didn't feel like a debutante role. One great quality of political leaders is the way they enunciate every word. And that is what he did today. His slow pace of delivery was what ensured that we were following him. Our text master, one recommendation for him would be that there were several instances when people unmuted themselves out of turn in the virtual audience. So my recommendation would be to be vigilant and always keep your hand on the trackpad. So the moment someone unmutes, you quickly mute them. Obviously, some of our speakers did manage to use that to their advantage with humor. One commendation for our tech master is the changed camera setup. It used to be placed over here, but it being placed here, I'm sure our virtual audience is having a better experience now. Now, one commendation and recommendation for members in the audience is that a few meetings back, Toastmasters Karanveer in his presidential opening used the analogy of thermometers and thermostats. Thermometer is something that tells you what's wrong, but a thermostat also helps you correct that. So as audience members, you all seem to me like thermometers. You know what is right, you know what is wrong with everyone who comes on the stage. But provide that feedback to all those role players. You could drop a personal text to them, you could give them a chit while you're on the table. Join me in evaluating them. Join me in becoming thermostat of the meeting. That was all from my side. Back to TMOD.
Thank you, TM Sivangi. Thank you, TM Sivangi, for your great effort and well conduction. So moving forward to conclude things, either we live in past state or future state. That is the main reason of fear. So if we learn technique so that we can live in present moment, then we can overcome our fear. Next, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Karmanya Vadike Raste Ma Palesu Kadachana. What does it mean? Here, Sri Krishna told Arjuna, who is Arjuna? All of us are Arjuna. So he is saying, you should work and don't worry about result. So what does it mean? You should do any work? No. You should do right work. You should make a strategy for further action, right? So you should do right work in right direction. Then definitely you will get results. No need to worry about results. And further, if still fear comes, then tell them, sit on table, and I have learned skills to overcome any phobias. After that, you can kick any type of phobias. So now, next I hand over to our president. He is young and dynamic personality, and without his effort with some team members, this arrangement couldn't be completed. So let's give huge round of applause.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Today has been a day when another phobia that came out was being insensitive, being hurried, and being unsettled at the last moment when anything happens. Today, when the meeting was about to be started,
we had a few members from our transition team coming, but when they say, it is perfectly true that team makes the things work. Today, Toastmaster Vedant, Toastmaster Reswick, and other members who came in early helped me set up all these things, and we are able to provide an experience together to all the members. This whole meeting today was a ride. It totally started with Bhavanand talking about fears, taking back to my own fears, and then Rupender's speech about why world needs a storyteller. Again, reminding me about my goals of becoming a storyteller someday. To Vedant's metro, to our gym goal, which again, I am guilty to. But having said that, it was fun. It was great to see the room full today for people coming in here for 2 hours for themselves, to improve themselves. The vote, it's time now to vote for the best role player. The votes are on the group. I request you to vote for the best role player. The nominees were TMOD Toastmaster Bhavanand. We had Table Topic Master, the one who makes every table topic easy, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha, and a general evaluator, Toastmaster Shivani. We will wait 10 seconds for that. I believe the option in this, no, it's okay, it's correct. Here it is. Yes, okay, we have a clear cut posting. Thank you so much. Now I want a guessing game right now. Since the starting, I feel energy level less in the room. So what we are going to do is, we are going to guess who is the best speaker of the team. Was it Toastmaster Rupender? Yes, no? Yes. Yes. Was it Toastmaster Ram? Yes. Yes. Or was it our fitness team Toastmaster Kashish? Yes. Everyone is here. The winner, the best speaker of this evening, goes to the person who reminded us to become better storytellers. Basically, Toastmaster Rupinder, thank you very much. Who do you think was the best evaluator today? Again, we had. Was it DTM Sabarigiri? Yes, no? Yes. Was it Toastmaster Reswick? Yes. Yes. Was it Toastmaster Sarthak? Yes. Yes. We have with everyone. I like that positive spirit. It was again distinguished Toastmaster Sabarigiri. Who do you think was the best table topic speaker of this evening? And now this one is very, very interesting because every table topic had something which I can remember. Navya. Yes, Navya explained my thing very well. Was it Toastmaster Umita? You didn't like the thali? Was it Toastmaster Arvind? Or was it Toastmaster Simran who took us to her hometown? Yes. Yes. Seeing a big yes for Toastmaster Simran, the award goes to Toastmaster Umika. And of course, one more less was Toastmaster Simran. People seem to have liked the thali more than the trip to the hometown. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player of this evening? Was it Toastmaster Ritu as timer? With the audience saying Joke Master, how can it be somebody else? It was Joke Master, Toastmaster. Last but not the least, the big hamper. Who do you think was the best role player of this evening? And we have a gift today.
Shivangi.
Was Toastmaster Ankit Sinha? Yes. Toastmaster Bhavanand?
Yes.
Toastmaster Shivangi?
Yes.
A big yes?
Yes.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Shivangi. With that, the awards have been announced. Now coming to the announcement for this meeting, we have a position vacant in the club EC after the renewal. The positions are for the post of VPPR and for the post of secretary. The previous office occupant couldn't continue due to personal commitment, but now it's your chance to improve yourself. As VPPR, you get to learn the skills of social management, interaction with the public, building relations beyond the club and within the club members. And if it is something you want to do reach out. As secretary, you get to learn those skills where you quickly note down the minutes of the meeting, handle everything at the back end, and do things. If that is something which you want to develop beyond your public speaking and leadership skill set, do reach out for that. At the same time, I would also like to thank distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder for accepting our invitation to deliver the speech here. And another great friend, Toastmaster Sarthak, for coming in today. Thank you very much. I hope you had a great time. Guests are requested to stay back for the briefing and the virtual as well as physical members. Now we are going to come here, assemble for a group photo, and then thank you. Everybody say cheese, including the virtual audience, please. Thank you. Can someone please also say Thank you.